6 a.m. in most of the Caribbean region. That means it's time for THG News Today with Mervyn Henley. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Thank God it's Friday. It is Friday, the 8th of December. I trust you had yourselves a wonderful night's rest. I certainly did. I did. The news, of course, is brought to you with the kind of compliments of our friends Carl and Sons on St. Martin, both locations, Pontville and in Cole Bay. We'll hear from Carl & Sons, and we will be right back with the news.
Carl & Sons has delicious food to fit your lifestyle and go easy on your pockets. Carl & Sons, your number one spot for breads, pastries, cakes, sandwiches, breakfast, and lunch. Check out Carl & Sons today on Pontville and in Cole Bay. The holidays are here and so is the Christmas ham at Carl & Sons. Get your Christmas ham sandwiches or Johnny cakes this season. Add a choice of cheese or egg or have all three. You can't go wrong with either one. Follow them on Facebook and don't forget Fun Miles is your friend at Carl & Sons.
And we begin with news out of St. Kitts and Nevis. Of course, the notice has been given for a sitting of the National Assembly to be held at the National Assembly chambers on Wednesday, December 13th. You know, we have this saying in St. Kitts and Nevis is under a double salary watch. I know there's been much debate going on about the double salary. So is it going to be a case that come December 13th that the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, will he announce a double salary? Or is he going to announce another $1,000 or $2,000 for every eligible citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis or resident? From the CBI, are we going to hear that? Or is it going to be $500? What is it going to be? There's going to be something. There has to be something coming out of St. Kitts in Prime Minister Drew's budget address. You're going to either hear that on Wednesday the 13th, or you'll hear it at the end of his closing statement. Which one will have more impact? They'll strategize and they'll get that for you. But the budget debate begins December 13th, and he'll be presenting the annual financial statement and budgetary proposals for the 2024 fiscal year. And following this, the budget debates will continue from Thursday, December the 14th. According to Section 71.3 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, following the budget speech by the Minister of Finance, the motion for the second reading of the bill will be seconded, and the debate on it will be deferred to a later date as determined by the Minister of Finance. So we'll hear all of that, and we'll hear from the opposition side. We'll have the leader of the opposition giving his take. Of course, we expect him to agree with everything that Prime Minister Drew would have presented, because this is the first time we are seeing that a leader of the opposition, he agrees with everything, 99.9% of things that the government has offered or is offering or whatever. And full defense mode, you'll think he's a deputy prime minister. But that's another story for another day. Let's now go to Antigua and Barbuda. A construction team from the People's Republic of China is expected to arrive before Christmas Day to assist in the first steps towards the construction of the nation's long-awaited forensic lab. A forensic lab has been long called for by law enforcement officials to assist them in solving crimes and missing persons more swiftly by identifying the human remains found by others. From the case of murdered customs officer Nigel Christian and Grace Farm resident Arthur James, which both were stalled multiple times over lack of forensic report, to missing persons cases like missing teen Shamar Harrigan from Willikeys, where human remains were found near the Willikeys salt pond, have yet to be identified. The backlog of unidentified bodies has also caused delays in burial proceedings, as relatives have been unable to grieve properly due to lack of a concrete report, as was the case with the Michael Cummins, who had to wait 11 months for a forensic report to confirm that burnt remains found at his home were indeed his then 16-year-old son. Wow. Had to wait 11 months to really confirm? That is some crazy stuff. The Chief of Staff, Hurst, speaking during the post-cabinet press conference, admitted that the government in Antigua and Barbuda has been slow to get the country's own facility off the ground, but said services, once constructed, will be available to all Caribbean nations. Antigua and Barbuda, according to Hurst, is usually out front and usually the first, certainly within our OECS collaboration, to provide all kinds of services to other parts of the OECS. Unfortunately, in this regard, we have been a little slow. It has taken a long time, and some of it has to do with payments, but other times, so many other countries are lined up ahead of us that it takes a very long time for the analyses to take place. Hurst added that the personnel at the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda have already been trained to assume command of the facility once it is built. Previously, Antigua and Barbuda was among numerous OECS countries who had to ship DNA test samples to Trinidad and Jamaica, where there are established forensic labs. It is expected that the forensic lab will be completed between the end of 2024 and early 2025. That's very good stuff from Antigua and Barbuda. And finally, some good news for taxpayers out of St. Lucia. The government of St. Lucia has secured $20 million to facilitate the payment of outstanding tax refunds dating back to financial year 2015. The Inland Revenue Department has received the funding for onward disbursement to eligible recipients commencing December 23 and up to the end of the financial year in March 2024. The Inland Revenue Department is expected to pay out nearly $10 million during the month of December 2023. The remaining $10 million will be dispersed by the Inland Revenue Department during the first quarter of 2024. It is anticipated that by the end of March 2024, approximately $40 million in tax refunds would have been paid out to St. Lucian taxpayers since July 2021. The government's $20 million injection will accelerate the tax refund process and ensure thousands of St. Lucians receive their outstanding tax refunds. This intervention is timely as it puts money back in the pockets of thousands of St. Lucians for the holiday season and beyond. The prime ministers this year, they're being Santa Claus all over the Caribbean. I think I came across a news item where the government of Grenada, under the leadership of Prime Minister Mitchell, they're paying, I think, 25% to all public servants. So they're not giving a double salary, but it's something, right? So they're giving 25% for Christmas to all civil servants there in Grenada. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I must say that I do get feedback from many of you regarding how the news is being presented. I have said from the beginning, and I'll keep on saying it, that we are not traditional news. We're not going to come here and read straight news just like that. Sometimes you'll get opinions, and sometimes you'll get commentary, and sometimes it will be all kind of different stuff. I want to come across as authentic as possible. And, just have honest conversations with the people. You don't have to agree with me, but at the same time, I am sure that the opinion that I give can sometimes be thought-provoking. So thank you for understanding the direction we are trying to go with THG News today. And the next year, we have some great things lined up. Next year, you'll be seeing visual at some point, at least in the first quarter. We'll be having everything set up for you, and so that we can have discussions with other people, discussing the news, interviews. It's going to be fabulous. And I can't wait for what 2024 has in store for THG Network and the THG News today. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. I am Mervyn Henley.